Hello, everybody! Welcome back once again to the Mania 7 Key World Cup 2022. We have some round of 16 action coming up. This match for the only match of this block. We've got the United States versus Malaysia, and I will be commentating this. I'm Toph Daddy, and I'm joined by a new commentator, Sparky. Welcome to the mix. How's it going?
It is going really good. Excited to be here. Excited to cast this, hopefully, explosive matchup between the United States and Malaysia.
Yeah, and we promise we won't be biased. We won't be, even though we're both... You're in the United States, right? Is that what I'm getting? All right. Yep. We're both U.S. residents, but we won't be biased about this match.
Do our best.
Yes. This is going to be a really interesting match. Malaysia, third seed, extremely strong. Chiwi and Nyokje probably going to be two of the bigger names on this team, but Juan and Eni going to be there for backup if they have their own strengths. And then the United States, Alter, that big anchor on their team, Turney good at long notes, and Teo and Revo being pretty well-rounded as individuals. So we'll have to see if or how many of these players are going to get that limelight for this round of 16. But it's going to be a large wall to climb for the United States, I will say.
Yeah,
Malaysia is a tough opponent.
Definitely going to be an uphill battle, as we see the team's already done with the rolls. Chiwi rolling that very nice 69, Alter following it up with a 51. So Malaysia has won the roll.
Yeah, and United States will be banning first. I can't imagine a long no pick gets through This maybe I could see United States banning a long note pick like Himaboshu would probably be my best guess. But I might also see a hybrid. I could see a hybrid coming out as a ban here.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see what the United States' game plan is, depending on what they decide to ban. Like you said, LN and hybrid seem to be on the chopping block, just given the nature of this Malaysian composition. Very proficient in LN in their own right, so...
Yeah, I mean, you got Chiwi, who's arguably the best LN player in the world. Maybe not in 7 key, but certainly in 4 key. And I've seen enough of Chiwi to know that he just destroys any LN map you throw at him. Ohio coming out as a ban, not a surprise. But Himabosh, both release picks are coming out. I guess that's kind of, they're banking on Turney's ability to handle the lower physical requirement maps, but the higher, coordination long note type maps.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we're waiting on Malaysia's pick. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they responded back in kind with some rice bans.
No, they banned another long note map.
Oh boy, okay. Breaking away
banned the release one. They're scared of Turney, I guess. Scared of that US low-end long note release skill. But all rice picks, all hybrid picks are open.
Yeah, definitely paying some respect there. Don't want to go in too overconfident into matches like this, especially when you're maybe trying to scope out what the comfort picks are. So Malaysia up to bat here, gonna be picking the first pick of this match. And Tekun no Yoke coming out.
Wait, there's 2 Yoakes. Huh. I didn't know that. But I guess that I'd assume that since they okay, yeah, they set serve 2 Yoake, and then their pick is Tenku no Yoake. So we've got the difference there.
Okay. Managed to clarify that we're going to be heading into the hybrid pool.
Not really a surprise, I don't think. I mean, I think Malaysia had one of the best hybrid scores during the qualifiers for both of the 2 hybrid maps. So I'm not really surprised to see them going straight for this, and especially with how, not necessarily one-dimensional, but very, focused on their own skill sets the United States are. I think putting them out of their comfort zone with something that requires both a significant rice and LN skill set is going to be the best bet for Malaysia to keep that pressure on.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll be interesting to see who comes up to the plate for both teams, just settling some logistical issues in the lobby, just make sure everybody's in the right spot here.
And it looks like for the United States, it's going to be Alter and Turney. Not too surprising given early rounds with the long notes, Turney being good, and Alter, like I said, being that rock, probably going to play almost everything in this pool. And then Chiwi and Neokje, I think, are going to be the 2 for Malaysia. Not surprising at all either.
Yeah, absolutely. And right on cue, Chiwi and Neokje going up against Alter and Turney here. Looks like the players are already just getting everybody readied up.
Yeah, got everyone in the right positions. We have them switched where US was in Malaysia's spots and Malaysia was in the United States. But we have the right stuff going. Map number 1, Tenku no Yoake, hybrid pick by Ankle coming up if the 2 US players will load in.
Oh boy.
There we go. We're good.
We got there.
And we'll be getting the intro of this map out of the way. Pretty slow overall. I'm going to guess that was client.
Yeah, Banjo needs a second. Gotta warm up a little bit.
Gotta catch up to the players a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like as the dust settles, yep, everybody's synced up. The US holding on to a tiny lead. It's very, very marginal this early on in the pick.
I mean, this is by far the easiest part, so accuracy isn't going to really matter up to this point, but Neokje having some small accuracy difficulties, and now that accuracy is really heading in the side of Malaysia with Chiwi's 99.95.
Absolutely destroying this pick right now as we get into the second third of the map. Yeah. The score is flickering, though.
Yeah, it is pretty close, but it looks like that lead is starting to increase as Alter and Turney both find some accuracy drops. But though Turney and Neokje are pretty much equivalent, it's just that difference between Chiwi and Alter right now.
Yeah, Chiwi really holding on the fort in the accuracy right now, giving Malaysia the lead, but Neokje does drop on the transition.
Oh, that's a big drop too. That was the lower accuracy, so it's going to be more significant than, say, a drop from Chiwi would have been. that lead is in favor of the United States right now. Not by a whole lot. Once that 400 combo comes back for Nioche, I'd assume the score is going to start inching ever so slightly towards Malaysia again, but I mean, it really just depends on how much time is left and whether Tourney and Alter are going to be able to hold on.
Yeah, it's up to them to hold on to the accuracy right now. There's only a quarter of the map left. This is not a long pick by any stretch of the imagination. That miss from Nioche really giving the lead right now over to the US, but it is very marginal. It's coming down to ratios at this point.
1 to 2,000. This ending a little bit easier to keep accuracy on if US doesn't drop. I think they might actually take this pick off of the Nioche miss.
Best not speak too soon. There's only an eighth of the map left. And as it stands right now, the US looking to take the first breakpoint, barring any calamities. Last release.
Immediate breakpoint for the United States, taking that hybrid pick. That is not what I expected to see.
But it is just what the doctor ordered. Chiwi with that 5-200 performance, not enough. Nioche with the only drop proves to be fatal, and the US take the first breakpoint of the match.
Yeah, just barely 3,300 points, and those two misses both at the same time. You saw some issues from Alter. Could have had some combo breaks from those, but luckily was able to keep the double full combo for the United States. Really, really good. But that ratio from Chiwi almost brought it back for them by itself.
Yes, almost single-handedly carrying Malaysia at the end there, but and when all is said and done, it is the United States pick. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to go with here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they just go with another hybrid. I mean, it worked out. I mean, they just got that breakpoint off of Malaysia on one, so it might be a good idea, but I really don't know. I think they would have to bank on misses in that situation, because they only won Tenku because of the miss from the Nioche.
Yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, you take those in this scenario.
Against the third-seeded team, you take whatever you can get.
Absolutely. And while the United States deliberates, it'll be interesting to see what the game plan is here for them.
Lost memory, accuracy, Jack pick, I think, undeniably easiest pick in the pool across the board. For most of these players anyways. I mean, you could technically find some people who would probably say the Longno release pick, or something like that would be easier just because of the physical requirement and the reading, but I think generally this is the easiest one to get good accuracy on, and I'm not really surprised to see that coming out as a pick from the United States, given they just want to hope for chokes.
Yeah.
And tightening that accuracy difference as much as possible is what's going to let those chokes give them the points. Or if they're just able to out-act Malaysia on this pick, then they can just take it like that.
Yeah, definitely going to be banking on that accuracy here. Probably going to be in for a bit of a ratio battle. Revo tagging in for Tourney here. And it looks like Neo going to be tagging out. Going to be interesting to see who comes in for Malaysia here.
I believe Neo is supposed to be playing this. If you look at the chat, Neo's restarted his game, so I think he's just having some client-side issues, potentially like lag or something, so he wanted to restart the game.
Yeah, might have come into play during that hybrid pick. Might want to take care of it here before they get any further into the match.
Definitely. But once we get Neo back in, there he is. We should be ready to go to start map number 2. United States' first pick. Them hoping to get a second point on the board to take advantage of that early break point against the Malaysian team.
Yeah, definitely want to put pedal to the metal here, especially when you have the advantage, so.
Yeah, and we're seeing Neo saying stuff about lag spikes, so he wanted to restart, but hopefully his client doesn't mess him up on this one.
Pray for no lag for Neo.
Yeah.
As we load into the second map of the match, it is going to be Lost Memory.
I think we can expect a couple of high 99.9s. I expect Chiwi to have like 99.99 for most of this map. Alter's probably not going to be too far behind. It's really just going to be about what Revo and Neo can do act-wise on this.
And as we get into it, Alter starting off with that auto up to 100% in this early exchange.
Indeed, he's still maintaining it. Chiwi not too far back, 99.95 right now. There goes Alter's auto mod, but Neo not doing too bad, 99.9, but similar to the previous pick, this intro is a lot easier than the rest of it, despite the whole thing being pretty easy to act for these players.
Yeah, right now Malaysia with a very slender advantage, just buoyed off of Revo's accuracy at the moment. Everybody in that high 99.8, close to 99.9 range.
Yeah, not by a whole lot, but because of Alter's accuracy advantage over Chiwi right now, 0.08% above Chiwi, and then only 0.05% behind Neo for Revo. So I think that accolade is actually favoring the United States for now. We really have to wait until the density starts picking up here.
Yeah, the 200 from Revo going into transition into the second half of the map, but bit of an accuracy drop from Neo here. The lead buoying into the US's favor going into the last third.
Jeez, look at Alter's accuracy, 99.99% up to this point.
Somebody check that man's keyboard.
Yeah, someone check this man out. Revo actually out-acting Neo right now as well. This is a pretty solid lead for the United States.
This Rice pick turning out to be paying out right now.
That was a 200 from Alter, so now the difference is Revo and Neo. This is extremely close.
Accuracy's tied at the top. It's a battle between the bottom players, Revo and Neo right now. Who can hold their nerve as we get into the last days of the map? The US still with the lead.
Any miss ends it, but we're coming up to the very... No!
Oh, and Alter misses! The lead! Oh, the curse was signed, sealed, and delivered. Revo follows the miss close behind, and Malaysia takes the breakpoint right back at the end.
Wow, what a nail biter right there.
Oh my goodness. That run was going so well for the US right up until the end, and Malaysia tie it up 1-1.
What a heartbreaker right there. That was so close.
Can we talk about that ratio? 24 300s up until that miss.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, and I mean, I said earlier that I expected Chiwi to be like right up there, having really good accuracy, but Alter had 1/3 of the regular 300s as Chiwi. That is a flex if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely, but at the end of the day, you got to hold on to it till the very end. It's not over until the playfield disappears. And it's Malaysia's pick now.
Do they go for a hybrid again, or do they go with the Rice again? I mean, they just won Rice, but it was all about the misses in both of the picks that they've had. Malaysia won Last Memory because of misses from the United States, but they lost Tenku because of misses on their own side. So a lot of risky picks when the accuracy battles are up this high.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like we're playing on razor-thin margins here. Not probably what most people were expecting given the seeding. It's 3 and 14. You think that level of difference would be a cakewalk for Malaysia, but that's not proving to be the case now as they take a second to deliberate on this pick. I would not be surprised if we saw an LN pick come out from Malaysia. But it's really just pick your poison.
What Malaysia has shown to be strong at historically. So, I mean, as we've already seen, the hybrids and the Rice can go either way. I could see Moon coming out as a long no pick from Malaysia. I think that would be their best bet in terms of, keeping things up. Because I don't think they want to fight against Turney's LN accuracy on something like Hinoboshi.
True. With that being said, they gotta make a pick soon.
I do not blame Chiwi and the Malaysian team for having trouble picking something, because both of these picks have already gone a little bit haywire compared to what people expected.
Yeah, they probably thought they were going to have a very easy 2-0 advantage right now, but that doesn't seem to be the case, and maybe rethinking the strategy a little bit. They probably wanted to harp on that second half, the bottom half of this map pool, but might not find as much comfort there now, given the US's performances so far.
Yeah, I am getting some notes that the Malaysian players are having a bit of issues connecting to Bancho's chat right now, but Chiwi did pick White Rose for the Malaysian team. So going with another hybrid here.
Yeah, definitely venturing back into the bottom half of the map pool, so maybe strategy stays the same, but definitely gotta be a bit more careful when it comes to the performances. Can't be lax for even a second.
Yeah, they've really got to make sure that they keep that combo, because it's already shown that Tourney and Alter are able to keep that combo relatively consistently on the more, physically simple charts, I suppose. Whether you want to call this physically simple is one thing. There's lots of choke heavy patterns like Jax, and that LN stream towards the end can be very tricky to read.
Yeah, coordination, the name of the game on picks like this, so looks like we are going to see Tourney come back in for the United States. See how things go. It looks like Bancho being a bit of a nuisance for the Malaysian players, but hopefully we can get that sorted out, get them into this next pick.
Yeah, it looks like their chat started loading, so they are back in the game, and it looks like Chiwi and Neo are going to be staying in, as you might expect. Tourney comes back in, and we're looking at these 4 players as the 4-4 White Rose.
Alrighty, looks like all the players are ready. We are loaded in. Let's see what happens.
I mean, this is already turning out to be a pretty exciting match. I can't imagine this doesn't stay exciting as far as what we've seen for these maps.
Absolutely, just waiting for Banjo to get everything synced up. And here we go.
Bit of a simpler opening, but it gets pretty heavy into the thick of the more complex releases really early on, and Alter already finding a break. But that's a good place to find a combo drop before the 400 combo mark, so that maximum or that maximum combo wasn't quite reached. Loses less score for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Better to get it out of the way early than somewhere disastrous, like right in the middle of the map. But right now, Malaysia carrying this very early lead. This is a really short map in the grand scheme of things. Only 1:50. We're already a third of the way through.
Yeah, not to mention that miss from Alter also came with a quite heavy accuracy drop, all the way down to 99.35, and having trouble recovering that accuracy at the moment. So that lead is not only a combo advantage, but an accuracy advantage for the side of Malaysia right now.
Yeah, Tourney and Alter lockstep in the accuracy, but both behind even Neoki right now with that 99.58 on his side, 99.4s across the board for the United States right now. And we're going into the last third of the map. Malaysia still holding on to his lead and the full combos.
Yeah, and we're heading towards the end where I think the highest amount of choke potential is, with some shields and some trickier long notes as well. So we could potentially see misses, but that lead for Malaysia is only increasing right now, as Tourney ended up having a bit of an accuracy drop earlier on.
Yeah, but very importantly, still holding on to the full combo here for right now. Could swing things in the very end, but we're running out of notes really fast here.
And here's that long note stream, which pretty much finishes out the chart, and looks like the Malaysian team is able to keep their composure very well, winning by almost 30,000 points on that. And they get their first own pick of this match and move it back to the United States for the pick, which I'm honestly expecting what's the COD 2 Junior map, the Electro Peaceful, that's what it's called. Sorry, I have to make sure I say COD 2 Junior at least once every match.
Duly noted. And both players on this Malaysian side finishing off with perfect ratings, full combos. Alter dropping towards the end, that was unfortunate, but I would think the map was very well said and done at that point, and Malaysia takes that 2-1 advantage here. United States up to bat, gotta find something to equalize the match with.
Yeah, and like I said, Electro Peaceful I think is their best bet, and there's the pick. Their accuracy, or at least Alter's extreme accuracy, was enough to trump out Chiwi's in Lost Memory, only losing because of that miss. So this is the next easiest map to get good accuracy on. I'm not surprised to see it come out.
Yeah, and right on cue, Revo tagging back in for the United States. It seems to be the name of the game here. Alter hard carrying the United States right now, playing every map so far. Now it looks like Chiwi and Neo are going to be staying in for Malaysia here. Now, barring any substitutions, you wonder if Alter's going to be able to shake off what happened in that first Rice pick. Because right now it seems that accuracy is going to be the name of the game, and he's going to have to pull through against Chiwi if they're going to have any chance of tying this one up.
Yeah, I think the most important thing at this point, you know, keeping accuracy is one thing, but you really need to make sure that that combo stays intact, because you don't, unless you full combo against a team like Malaysia, you're really not giving yourself any chance to take that win.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, probably just sorting out a couple of issues in the background.
Oh, is Neo I don't know if Neo's restarting his game or if they just DC'd or something.
Yeah, it looks like Bancho's having a bit of a moment, but we'll get him in there. Oh, and it is going to be a substitution.
Is coming in probably for that accuracy advantage. Maybe the dense core stream kind of, you know, shows itself a little bit better from Juan than from Neo.
Yeah, so debut for Jiwon for Malaysia. Gonna see how they perform coming into this halfway through the match. It looks like the players are ready.
And here we go, map number 4. A hopeful, well, Malaysia here hoping to get another break point to extend that lead, but United States really needing this point to keep themselves in the match.
Yeah, a crucial pick for the United States here. It'll be interesting to see how it goes as we get everybody synced up and into the map.
I mean, if the US loses this, they kind of have lost almost any hope they have of taking these points, because they've been banking a lot on that strong accuracy over their opponents, especially on something like Last Battle or the Jack map. But they just weren't able to hold on to the combo enough. But that accuracy from Malaysia in this intro showing to be pretty strong, overpowering Revo's 99.5 with a 99.7 and a 99.9 nearly.
Yeah, right now it seems to be the battle of the bottom two playfields. Juan versus Revo right now, because Alter and Chiwi are holding lockstep, but Juan does drop, and it has a lead over to the United States almost immediately.
Yeah, that is exactly what they were looking for. Keep the accuracy high enough to be competitive, but Revo with a drop right after going into the break, and another one. That's a huge accuracy drop, 0.3% behind Juan now, and Chiwi and Alter are essentially matching themselves, so this is going to be quite the lead for Malaysia from here on out, unless we find more misses from Malaysia's side.
Yeah, already halfway through the map. There's still plenty of time, but with another drop from Revo, it looks like the door's going to be shutting pretty quickly on the United States' performances here.
Yeah, we've got some denser streams coming up towards this end, but Malaysia's not looking like they're lifting up on the gas. They're just going to keep heading forward with that over 10,000 point lead here.
Yeah, it's quick. It's amazing how quickly things can get out of hand, especially with that next drop from Revo there. And it looks like this point, barring any calamities on Malaysia's side, might be done and dusted here. Last eighth of the map to go.
Yeah, and lots more accuracy and combo drops coming from Revo, and that is going to seal the deal for this pick. Malaysia takes yet another break point, their second break point of this match, and bring it 3-1 for their own pick.
And there we have it. Almost, what, 46,000?
Yeah,
more comfortable.
Just about.
More comfortable margin. Crazy scores from Chiwi and Alter to be expected. It really just came down to that battle between Juan and Revo there. And Malaysia up 3-1 now. Their pick.
Would you expect the last hybrid to come out? Because given their pick strategy, I think that's all that's really left for them, for their confident picks, I should say.
I would put money on that last hybrid coming out also. Oh, but no, right as I say that,
we got our first long note pick.
And you would imagine, I mean, unsurprisingly, Chiwi's going to stay in for that. It'll be probably Neo coming back in if I were to harp in a guess.
Yeah, and I'm guessing Alter and Attorney are going to be the choices for the United States, as they have been for the hybrids and long notes so far.
Yeah, the United States all to play for right now. Want to stem the bleeding a little bit. See if they can take a breakpoint back. They were able to do it on the first pick. Let's see if they can muster up some confidence to take this next one.
I think I did mention earlier that this is probably Malaysia's best bet for a long note pick in this pool, given that it's a lot denser than the other LN pick open, and the United States have obviously already shown that they're not super comfortable by banning out the other dense long note pick of Ohio. So this is definitely a solid pick, I think, for Malaysia, and I wouldn't be surprised if they absolutely demolish it. But Alter and Tourney are two players who have already shown that they're willing to put up a fight on stuff like this.
Yeah, they've definitely been able to take it to Malaysia at least once before. Let's see if they can do it again. Looks like we are going to see Neo tag back in for Malaysia. The players expressing their own respective nerves at each other. The mutual respect between the two teams.
Yeah, it's been 3 years since 70 World Cup for these players, so it's a bit of a new feeling after that long of being in having a break from World Cups for 7-key. And even though Chewy and Neo both played in 4-key, it's a bit of a different story when you're talking about a completely different key mode.
Yeah, absolutely. And it looks like the players are ready. We are loaded into the map. Let's see what happens here. Malaysia looking to take a clamp down on this match. The United States looking to answer back on Moon. And into the first volley of notes, Neo with a bit of an accuracy drop compared to the rest of the field. Answered back by Tourney, dropping accuracy on his own, and Malaysia's going to take a very early lead into this pick.
Yeah, no misses thus far, though, in this slightly easier opening, I'll mention, but no major accuracy differences. Alter about 0.1% behind Chewy, and Tourney about 0.2% behind Neo. So, Alter and Tourney at this point, this is Malaysia's pick, so you don't really have to worry about breaking these kinds of points, because when your opponent picks them, that's their confidence. They're confident in this pick to a certain extent. But as long as Alter and Tourney can do what they need to, the only thing they can hope for at that point is just for mistakes to happen on the side of Malaysia. So once Alter and Tourney get their job done, they're just hoping for accuracy drops, but that is Alter finding a break right before that small break in the chorus.
Yeah, and getting into the last third of the map. All to play for the United States. Alter with that drop. Tourney following close behind, dropping his own full combo, and it looks like Malaysia's going to be able to hang on. Last quarter of the map, anything can happen, but with another drop from Alter, it looks like this one's coming to a close rather quickly for the United States here.
Indeed, the double full combo from Malaysia's side looking too strong to handle for them. And it's looking more and more like this is going to be a 4-1 and a potential situation where the United States could be on their last ropes.
Yeah, all to play for the United States. Gotta find a pick and gotta find it fast once this map is over. Neo and Chewy holding on to the full combos. Amazing scores. A 990 from Chewy. And Malaysia go up 4-1.
This is United States. Well, this could be United States' last pick. If they lose the next two, they don't get another pick in this match. They just end up losing the match at 6-1. But so with that in mind, they kind of need to go for risks here. This is where those risky picks start to come into play, where you have to take a chance on whether or not Malaysia is going to perform very well on it, or some combination of that. And I think if you wanted to take a risk as the United States, you'd pick Himaboshi with Tourney's excellent coordination skill. And with Malaysia's ban of the other release pick.
I mean, when your back's against the wall, you got to throw the kitchen sink and see if anything sticks. So I would not be surprised.
I think Himaboshi is the pick, but is that a pick? I don't think that's a pick. Oh, it is. Okay.
Oh, it is.
That's one of the hybrids. That's the last hybrid available. It's the difficulty name of it. Didn't notice at first.
Gotta love these amazing difficulty names, especially with names as long as the ones in this map pool. So glad we were able to get that sorted. It is going to be the last hybrid coming out for the United States, potentially their last pick if things don't go their way here.
Yeah, 4 minute and 40-second chart. This is the kind of thing it looks like. I mean, this is another thing where it's like, this is the risk, where they're trying to bank on Malaysian missing, and a 4 minute 40-second chart is the way to do that, as long as they're feeling confident that they can hold consistently on it just as well.
Yeah, and it looks like Rebel's gonna be tagging in for Tourney here for this hybrid. As like you said, it's like when you're going up against a powerhouse in Malaysia where they can probably full combo this map pool on demand, minus that one little blip on the first pick. I mean, you just gotta hold on for dear life and hope that your opponent makes the mistake first.
Yeah, and when you're hoping for misses, long maps, long consistency-based maps, especially when the map pool is as difficult as this is so early on. You know, this might be act to some of these players, but there are some difficult patterns throughout this. A lot of choke points that can be very difficult to hold on to, especially for how long this is.
Yeah, absolutely, and it'll be very interesting to see how the US performs on this pick, especially given the context of the situation.
Yeah, and I mean, they picked it. They must be somewhat confident in their ability to score on this.
You would hope. And it looks like the players are ready. We are going to be loaded into potentially the United States' last pick. See how things go.
Yeah, not their last chance to get back into this match, but this is the point where they're really going to want to win this point if they want any chance of winning, because you don't want to be at match point on your opponent's pick.
Yeah, there's no worse feeling than that. And as we get into it, Malaysia eking out a very slight advantage. I mean, this is a 4 minute long map, so there's still plenty to go through, but...
Yeah, I mean, 1.5k in a 4.5 minute chart, over 6,000 combo, that can be a lot, even though it's just a matter of the accuracy dropped right at the beginning from Alter and Revo. But Neo falling a little bit behind on the accuracy as well, and Chiwi and Alter actually catching up to Chiwi a little bit in terms of accuracy, so that lead is now very, very close.
Yeah, slender margins here going into the second quarter of the map. And Rebel finds the first drop.
A very early miss and a lot of accuracy drop as well. Down to the mid 98% though, climbing up very quickly. But now it's a matter of multiple drops potentially from Malaysia, unless those accuracy drops start coming very heavily for them as well. But again, when you're talking about a team like Malaysia, saying accuracy drop really isn't the thing that you're expecting. Misses, sure. Accuracy drops, not so much.
Yeah, absolutely. This hill is quickly becoming a mountain for the United States to climb as we get into the second quarter of the map now. Malaysia still holding on to the advantage here, accuracy and score-wise.
Yeah, and that accuracy for Revo is not going any further up, staying at that 98.5 range, while Neo is still 99.35, and Chiwi is still overtaking Alter by 0.15% at this point, so there's still a very massive hill to climb for these players if they want to get back into it.
Yeah, going into the second third, I mean, we see Neo nearly catching up in accuracy to Alter, and I mean, if Malaysia's second best player can catch up to the United States' top player, what does that say for the rest of this map as we get into it? And Rebel drops again.
Miss. Not looking too good for the United States here. That is extending the lead for Malaysia up to 20,000. Another miss is going to extend it even further. And like I said, 6,000 combo map, 4.5 minutes long. 20,000 points is a huge wall. That's upwards of 5 or 6 misses from Malaysia. They have so much room to work with as we get into the second half, where arguably the harder patterns do happen, but they have a lot of leeway here.
Yeah, all to play for. The ball is fully in Malaysia's court right now. Both players still holding on to their full combos. Alter doing very well to hang on to his own full combo, but really, the damage is being done right now. And if you're a United States fan, you're hoping for something to happen to either of these Malaysian players to trip them up.
Huge density burst, not tripping anyone up, not even on the United States. That doesn't bode well for the United States, though, right as Revo drops on the LN transition, but Neo follows it up, and Revo follows it up again with more trades.
And these trades only help Malaysia as we get into the last third of the map. 99.1, 99.7. Chiwi doing all the legwork right now, making sure that the lead is buoyed for Malaysia, that there's no damage done to the score lead going into the last quarter.
Yeah, Alter's accuracy not enough to just cancel out Chiwi's ability, and Revo's accuracy is now almost a full % behind Neo's despite the drops from Neo. It's just not going to be enough unless we see some ability to catch up from, you know, we need to see misses from Malaysia here.
Yeah, we need to see misses from Malaysia, we need to see misses from Chiwi, but it looks like Revo's the only one catching misses right now as we get into the last quarter of the map. Absolutely monstrous performances from the side of Malaysia right now.
Absolutely, we got these mini jacks coming in with the lung notes. Can be very tricky. Alter finding a drop on them, but Chiwi holding strong, taking the victory on his back. Not
carrying the Malaysian team.
Yeah, no, I don't even know if it's that much of a carry. Neo is doing work for them, keeping himself well ahead of Revo at this point. And just really, this pick was all Malaysia all day.
Yeah, from very early on. I mean, we can't write it off when you're 1 minute in, but when we're reaching the end, it is very clear that Malaysia was well equipped for this pick. And it looks like it's going to be last chance saloon for the United States here, as Malaysia starts to go up 5-1.
Yeah, nearly 50,000 points. I think that's the largest difference we've seen on anything.
Yeah, definitely growing into this match is Malaysia. And wow, a 989 out of Chiwi, 100, blemishing that performance.
Shown off by Chiwi, a full combo. And
Absolutely
Malaysia
incredible.
has a pick on whatever they want, but they have the coordination LN pick and then 3 Rise picks left in the pool, I think, or 4 Rise picks.
Just pick of the litter.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what to do as Malaysia. I don't think they'd be comfortable with picking Himboshi, so they go with Oceanus. They go with the fast, lighter chord stream map, probably trying to take advantage of Revo, just like what happened on Electro Peaceful, where Revo was just having some issues keeping combo on that.
Yeah, you see, on map pools like this, I mean, there's always got to be somebody lagging behind. It looks like we're going to see Teo come in for the United States, maybe just as maybe a bit more comfortable in this pick. I mean, you got to try something here.
Yeah,
you're down.
Gotta have something happen, and this is the first time we've seen Teo for this match, so it'll be their induction into the World Cup here.
Trial by fire, welcome to the World Cup, the biggest stage for 7Key. You are on match point, trying to stay alive in the winner's bracket. Good luck.
This is a situation where you've gotta step up for your team. You gotta do everything you can, and I could maybe expect Juan. Oh no, Emmy, another player who hasn't seen any maps in this match so far. So we got 2 new players coming in. I'm curious how nerves are going to be handled by these two, because this is both of their first maps to be played on stream for the World Cup.
Yeah, composure starts to come into play here, and it'll be interesting to see what these players do. We've seen Chiwi, we've seen Alter. It'll be up to the bottom playfields, Annie and Teo, to see if the United States can claw Breakpoint, stay alive in this match, get themselves another pick, but it remains to be seen. We are loaded into Oceanus, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, there's lots of points. I mean, some people might call this pretty easy to handle, but it's very, very fast, and certain points of it can get pretty... Oh, no, Alter, that's not what you're supposed to do at the beginning.
That is not what the doctor ordered from Alter, but I mean, it is very early on in the pick, so... I mean, it could have come at a worse time, but Teo follows closely behind with a miss, and that is not what the doctor ordered. The United States falling behind very early on in this pick.
Yeah, but even with those misses, the accuracy is not that far behind. Any miss from Malaysia, I think, will make that lead very, very, very close between these two teams. Alter slightly behind, but Teo finding yet another drop, but still having an accuracy advantage over Annie. It really depends on this combo game between these players here.
Yeah, all eyes on Annie right now to see if they can hold on to their full combo. You would imagine that as soon as if they drop, that this lead might there might be a dent made in this lead, but we're already halfway through the map, and it doesn't look like they have any signs of stopping here. Alter and Tail trading misses also, and they need to get back into that 400 combo cap immediately. This lead is quickly starting to become insurmountable for Malaysia.
Yeah, but
Chiwi dropped.
Help that. That is going to help it, but unless any also finds some drops, and we find multiple here, we're going in the last quarter, and we have a lot to climb over if you're the United States. But they are back up to that 400 combo mark, so any misses from Malaysia will help that lead. But I don't really see enough happening towards this ending. This is slowly going out of the reach of the United States for this match.
Absolutely, and it looks like any stepped up to the plate and they were able to deliver, still holding on to the full combo. The only one left in this lobby. Indeed. And they do it.
Combo, putting Malaysia on their back for that last point needed. And that's going to finish it off for Malaysia versus the United States. Malaysia dominating in many of those maps, but quite a few of them being close. United States nabbing a point on a hybrid pick and showing a lot of guts with that performance.
Yeah, definitely something to hold your head up high on, especially considering the seed disparity. But congratulations to Malaysia. They move on in the winners bracket. We will see the United States down in the losers bracket, so not the end of the road for them.
Both teams maintaining life in this tournament. Malaysia at least going to make it out to the semifinals round, but the United States going to have to fight for their life in the losers bracket next week in the quarterfinals map pool. And it's going to be a tough road, I think, for both of these teams, because this, I mean, if we want to look at the bracket, we can, but I actually know who these teams are facing. Malaysia facing Japan for the quarterfinals. Not the most fun matchup you want to see. And in the losers bracket, the United States gets knocked down to face the loser between Japan and Spain, which was Spain. Also a very, very tough opponent. The number 6 seed being knocked down into losers bracket by Japan, and that's got to be tough to see for the United States, but, you know, they can always put up gutsy performances just like they did today, so.
Yeah, if they're going to go down, they're going to go down with a fight, so, I mean, with that being said, Toph, I think we're done for this one.
Yeah, that's going to be the end of this block. One match long, but we've got a nice, sizable break, a 10-hour break to be specific, before we go ahead and see Canada versus Brazil at 3 UTC. That is going to be a very exciting match. The seed 8 versus seed 9. I think, like, we've already seen the 6-4 against Japan, but I think this one's going to be the closest match of this tournament. This is going to be the exciting match of this round.
Yeah, definitely a spicy matchup, but we'll see you guys then.
Yeah, we will just see you guys next week, and make sure to return for the remaining matches in round of 16.